Hey collective, it's Anne Marie. I hope all of you are doing well. Thought we'd pull some cards, get some messages of clarity for those of you who like it on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. Isn't today just amazing? Aren't we grateful? God damn it. Hold on. Oh, we got the Raven here talking about your confidence. You're encouraged to disconnect from the physical or materialistic plane and move to the spiritual realm. You have a deep spiritual connection, which you mustn't ignore. You know the chills that you get when you hear a song, where you're just overcome with emotion or a feeling that you just can't explain when you're doing certain things. That is your spiritual guides trying to reach out to you, pulling you towards something. You are on the brink of transformation, and your divine purpose may be revealing itself. So if you have been going back and forth about what is, a lot of us ask, what is my fucking purpose? Because I believe that we have multiple purposes here, right? And so you may be someone who has been questioning, what is your purpose? The more you're able to disconnect from the 3D reality, I'm not talking about doing drugs to trip out and have a spiritual experience, because you don't need any substances to do that. Let me just tell you, you can do that all through meditation and true connection. Guarantee you. So anyway. Yes, Spirit. Your spirit team has been trying to communicate with you on a different type of level to assist you with answering some of these questions you've been having about your purpose. I'm hearing for some of you who may have just started your journey, or you don't believe you have gifts and abilities, that maybe you just watch a lot of readings, that, we all have divine gifts and abilities. And everyone will have a different perception regarding this, but from my personal experience and what my downloads have been the more you heal certain wounds, the more you open your mind to wonder and play and heal those childhood wounds, the more that will be revealed to you. And what Spirit is saying is that for some of you, I'm getting a few messages here. Spirit, I need you to clarify which way you want me to go with this. Okay. There's some people who have acquired these gifts and abilities. This is a separate message, so sorry about the first half. What the fuck was that? I could have sworn I just saw something float. Anyway, it's a very auspicious day. Some people have used their book knowledge to get over on people, to harm people, and not use their gifts for the good. And let me tell you, if you are one of those people, because I have a lot of looky-loos on my page, you will lose any gifts and abilities, and so will your lineage. As above, so below, as within, so without, so mote it be. When you use your gifts and abilities to harm others, to hurt others, to take money from people, to block people because of who they are, because they put the work in, it's not going to work out for you. You will lose your gifts and abilities. And then what you will do, this is for the cross watchers, so then what you'll do is you'll go around your little group and start telling people that the collective is attacking you because you don't have these gifts anymore. It's because of what you chose to do with them. See, we all have these gifts and abilities that are free for us to use. Are you going to use them for the good, or are you going to use them to harm? That's why a lot of people, you can tell they don't know a lot about psychics, because they say, what's the winning lottery numbers going to be? Let me tell you what, even though some people can tap in and know what the winning lottery numbers are, they know that if they do some foul shit to get something that's not meant for them, it will come back times 10, and they'll lose 10 times more than what they ever gained. And that's the name of the game. Like I said last night, what you reap, what you sow. There's individuals that possibly be in your life that had a lot of gifts and abilities, but they were using them to harm, maybe not you, could be you, or other people collectively. They have used them to the unsuspecting people, to the people who are just waking up or may, I don't want to say naive, but just don't know as much about spirituality or about gifts and abilities or the spirit realm or whatever you want to identify it as. And so they use that to their advantage. They use it to take advantage of vulnerable people who are just trying to get insight and guidance. That's why I always say, do your research on people. Be very mindful who you reach out to, sharing your energy with, to get answers from, or to get guidance from, or to study under, or to take classes from, or programs from. Be very mindful. Just like with any other subculture in this world, there are people who don't have good intentions. Their pure intention is to do things to make money. I know this mess all over the place, but I'm just going with it. They just do things just to make money off it. They're really not spiritual. Have you ever met somebody? Because this happened to me quite a few times. I was like, oh shit. You kind of get to know them a little bit, and let's say they're spiritual or they're religious. However, you can take where, they have this persona as a healer or as a helper or as, it could be a therapist, a social worker, it could be anybody, right? Somebody in your church, somebody in the spiritual community, and they have all these supposedly accolades, right? And they're whatever. And you get to know them a little bit and you're like, this was me. This is the last motherfucker that needs to be teaching healing because they are toxic as fuck. So be mindful. Get to know people first before you share your energy with them. Because there's a lot of unhealed people. Not saying that you're fully healed before you teach it to the next one, but there's levels to this shit. If you're teaching about grounding and manifesting and you have a shit ass relationship and you're always in toxic connections and you're gossiping and you're backbiting and you're overindulging in drugs or alcohol or sex or things like that, you may want to reconsider who you go to. And this is no judgment on anybody. This is the universal laws, spiritual laws, if you will. What was the purpose of this message? Spirit was like, some people really want to know what their purpose is. They didn't want to hear your rant. Even though it wasn't a rant, it was messages that Spirit was just giving to me, like little tidbits. I've said this 100 times and I'll say it probably thousands more. If you really want to tap into your gifts and abilities, go out and play. Heal. Reconnect with your inner child. What did you, as horrific as some of your childhoods were, what are some of the things you found peace in? What did you do to escape physically when you had rough living conditions as a child? Me, it was always climbing trees. I was always climbing trees and pretending I was a teacher. I loved to climb trees. I loved to be out in nature. I loved bugs. I mean, I loved all that stuff. I was a tomboy with Barbies, dressed in fatigues. And so part of my healing my inner child was having the wondrous mind of a child, the untainted mind, even though my innocence was stolen from what I can remember. I never remember not having a pure, innocent life as a child, or as an adult, actually. By opening yourself up to play and the wonder, whatever it is that you really enjoy doing as a child, where you're not worried about what people are thinking or saying around you, if you're talking to a tree or hugging trees or skipping in the woods or singing, or if you like to do rocks, like picking rocks and, finding rocks and just the wonders of nature or whatever. Tap into that. Because it's like it opens up the energy of that childlike play, and it opens up energy for your spirit team and your ancestors to give you these messages. If you don't have the belief in something, that's why if people say, well, I don't believe in psychics, but I want a reading. If you don't believe in what it is, then how open are you to the process? So this is about opening yourself up to the process of wonder, to get the messages, whatever it is that you believe in, for your spirit team to kind of give you the downloads on what your purpose is. Usually your purpose is going to come out of the pain you've suffered in your life, what you've experienced in your life. That is usually directly associated to what your purpose is in life, what your trauma was. That's why it's important to heal that trauma so that you can turn that pain into purpose and to help the next one who's going through some stuff that you probably went through that you could help them with. Have an amazing rest.